Welcome back to Indie Film Weekly. I'm Glen Reynolds, and this is your indie film rundown for the week of January 9th. On tap, we've got a surreal sci-fi brain teaser, a political drama about family and memory, and a verite portrait that stings. If any of these films land near you, get a ticket and bring a friend. The screen feels bigger when you add one more seat to the row. Indie Film Weekly is brought to you by Circus Road Films, helping indies find distribution deals since 2006. Learn more at circusroadfilms.com. Let's dive in. Our first indie film in theaters this week is OBEX from Albert Birney, the handmade imagination wizard behind Strawberry Mansion. OBEX plays like a bedtime story that got lost in a server room. A quiet tech drifts into a labyrinth of screens, symbols, and memories, and the plot keeps shape-shifting the closer you get to it. Bernie loves analog texture, so expect practical tricks, painted light, and a score that hums like a dream you almost remember. The thrill here is the tone, not the twist. It is playful, melancholy, and oddly hopeful about human signal in a world of noise. You can unpack the metaphors later. In the theater, let it wash over you. This is a perfect sit-in-the-dark movie. The colors deepen, the jokes land, and the hush gets contagious. Our second indie film in theaters this week sails into deep water with Magellan, Lav Diaz's epic take on the explorer's world-circling gamble. Gail Garcia Bernal plays the navigator not as a textbook hero, but as a flawed, driven tactician steering a tiny armada through storms, hunger, and human politics. Diaz leans into myth versus memory, showing how conquest stories get polished while the costs stay buried. Expect long, absorbing passages of sea and shore, tense councils on creaking decks, and encounters that complicate the first in first circumnavigation. It's history as fever dream and reckoning, the kind of big canvas filmmaking that asks you to lean forward and sit with the contradictions. If grand searching cinema is your thing, this one's a voyage worth taking on the biggest screen you can find. Our last film in theaters this week, Young Mothers from the Dardenne brothers. Two young women navigate work, housing, and impossible choices in a system that loves to judge and hates to help. Their Dardennes shoot with their usual intimacy, so you feel the lift of a bus door, the slump of a shoulder, the way a hallway can become a courtroom. Non-actors blend with pros, and scenes play out in long takes that quietly build pressure. It is tense, humane, and full of details that locate you in the day-to-day grind. Their movies are never about speeches. They're about moments where a person decides who they are. This one has several. Bring your patience and your empathy. Both get rewarded. So in theaters this week, that's OBEX, Magellan, and Young Mothers. Our Spotlight indie film on TVOD this week, Big Fur, directed by Dan Wayne. On paper, it's about a taxidermist making a life-size Bigfoot. On screen, it's an affectionate portrait of obsession. You get shop craft, foam dust, reference photos, and a community that treats debate over primate footprints like the World Series. The film has fun with the legend while taking the artist seriously. Watching a creature come together hair by hair is weirdly soothing, and the result is both funny and sincere. If you need a palate cleanser after heavier theatrical fare, this is your odd little joy. Rent it on Amazon, pour something warm, and let the fur fly. Our indie film classic this week, Polyester, celebrating its 45th from John Waters. Set in suburban Baltimore, it follows Francine Fishpaw's busy collapse, philandering husband, rotten kids, nosy neighbors, and a perfume of scandal hanging over everything. Waters shoots it like a melodrama and then spikes the punch. It is gleefully tacky and lovingly precise about the rituals of domestic respectability. Divine is tremendous as Francine, mixing vulnerability with comic bravado. Tab Hunter shows up with gleam and trouble. The gags are big, the colors louder, and the morality play unapologetically crooked. Back in the day, audiences got odorama cards, scratching along to scents that matched the on-screen chaos. Even without the card, you can feel the stunt. Waters wants you in on the joke, not standing outside judging it. Polyester also marks a pivot. It is still filth proudly, but it is crafted plotted, and performed with a confidence that paved the way for Hairspray. Revisit it, and you will see a filmmaker tightening the screws on camp and finding something generous underneath the bad behavior. Stream it on Amazon and salute the classic session that raised a generation of weirdos right. And that wraps it for the January 9th edition of Indie Film Weekly. If one of these theatrical films is playing near you, pick a showtime and make a night of it. The room matters. If you can't get out of the house, you have your choice of a Bigfoot taxidermist or a masterwork from the Pope of Trash. If you dig the pod, subscribe, share, and drop a quick review. It helps other film nerds find us. Until next time, keep it curious, keep it courageous, and keep it indie.